The professor was certainly anxious to secretly get this bite of food in his mouth from this shot to here. You'll notice the radio is sitting on the bare table here, and then the close-up shot, it's sitting on this colorful material. Make a note of this material. An entire bolt of it must have washed up on shore because you see it throughout the entire second season. And here Mr. Howell has a super fast arm. Also notice in this same shot, it's kind of a no-no to have shadows on a star's face. On Mr. Howell's face, these look kind of like a shadow of a palm frond that might be out of the scene but in front of a light. This is rather effective, having an actual glass sound when they clink their cups together.
Here's Mrs. Howell.
They did a better job on the coconut cups this season. They're much more uniform, and some of them appear to have a metal rim. This is kind of a technical problem here. The upper right quadrant of this scene is all washed out looking. The only thing I can come up with was one of the studio lights was too close to the camera lens and started to flare, except in a big way. But not only that, here is someone's arm hanging out of the door of this hut. It's not moving, which doesn't mean anything other than it might substantiate the fact that it is a still frame. Plus, this is the supply hut, and you'll notice the supply hut has this door with these bars in it that you can reach out with your arm, and also a window to the left. However, following this, the action takes place in the girls' hut, as you can tell by these other windows. There's a window on the other side, plus the window with the flower box. And here we see the second appearance of this orange material. Also make note, you'll see these little colored birds. This was actually to make good use of the color which was introduced in the 1965 seasons of so many of the shows. Notice in the bottom right corner here you can see a metal pipe sticking out. Because it's metal, I'm guessing it's probably part of a crew raft. Gilligan must slide through an automatic napkin tucking machine here. You can see on the right hand side it's kind of loose and hanging out, and then at the other end of the bench it's nicely tucked in. In addition to the napkin, because this was another camera setup, take a look at the utensils here, and then after sliding to the Howells and back, the utensils have switched sides. This is a good one here. When Gilligan falls into the sand, you can clearly see this filtered cigarette butt here. And I wonder if he took it upon himself to save the scene, because if the director didn't say cut, it looks like he purposely moved his hand to cover it up. Notice Mr. Howell's stick makes a quick change from 0 degrees to 90 degrees here. In several of these successive scenes, notice the yellow pencil goes from the table to Gilligan's hand, depending on the camera setup. But not only that, if you take a look at these scenes, Gilligan's not there at all, compared to where he was to the distance of this torch. And here we have the first appearance of the electric record player. This is one of 4 different record players used so far in the run of the show. I wonder if this scene was overdubbed later. Look at the professor's face, because as he is looking disgusted, you can see he says ginger, unless he says it under his breath.
Wonderful experience, and it just makes a girl feel wonderful.
Wonderful!
Wonderful experience, and it just makes a girl feel wonderful.
Wonderful!
In addition, in this same shot, Ginger's lips clearly don't match what she's saying. Perhaps they just borrowed some other footage to use in this spot.
Wonderful experience, and it just makes a girl feel wonderful.
Wonderful!
Wonderful experience, and it just makes a girl feel wonderful.
Wonderful!
Here is some good continuity. During the beauty contest, we can see that the tic-tac-toes are already on the score sheets. This is a good effect. The professor really is blowing pepper or something out of his hand. You can see it fly through the air against this dark area. This is very good continuity. We can still see Mary Ann's shoe stuck in the glue to the right of the stage here. That would have been an easy one to forget. And then later we do see that Mary Ann is still missing her shoe to keep in step with this continuity. And here, in contrast to the good continuity earlier where we could see the tic-tac-toe on the score sheets, here all of these sheets are blank. I suppose they needed so many sheets they didn't want to take the time to put tic-tac-toe on all of them.